So SummerSlam 2024 was absolutely a perfect and phenomenal show last night. Yes, there was over 50,000 attendance of WWE fans of the attendance of SummerSlam in Cleveland, Ohio. And we also have a great and an epic return of our real tribal chief, Roman Reigns. Yes, when Roman Reigns came out, and here's one thing I want to point out, that as Roman came out, he has new theme music. Well, not really new theme music, but it's kind of like a remix. I kind of listened to a little bit of it, but I can hardly hear it, but it looks like he got new theme music. Yes, the OTC, the real tribal chief, is back in session, man. It is good to have Roman Reigns back, and I cannot wait for everything of what happened at SummerSlam on Raw and SmackDown of next week. So any further ado, well, I'm not going to waste no time. Before we get into all the good stuff, you have not already yet, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you have not already yet. Follow me on social medias down below. Let's get into the SummerSlam 2024 review here. So, the first match that we're going to be starting with, Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley for the Women's World Championship. Oh man, I will tell you, they definitely had a great match from last night, especially with Dominic in Rhea's corner. This whole storyline between them, and I've been doing reactions to them, they have definitely been cooking up to this point right here in the match. No, my gosh, especially with Liv Morgan, definitely is getting a lot of attention that's been blowing off social medias over the last week or so of her booty cheeks showing. And everyone's going crazy over it. Especially with Liv, crying over Dominic that he cheated on him. That he cheated on Liv and went right back to Mommy Rhea. I thought this match was definitely great in my opinion. They definitely had a very great match. Especially with the turn of Dominic Mysterio of turn on Rhea. I'm going to talk about it. Let's talk about it. So, the match went 15 minutes in. What happened during the match of Rhea and Liv? For the last month or so, months ago, that Rhea ended up having a shoulder injury on her right shoulder that caused Liv to be out of action for months until she returned. So during the match, a couple of times I've been seeing Rhea, she re-injured her shoulder, her right shoulder. And the crazy thing is she popped it back into place of the announce table and wanted to get it inside the ring. She re-injured her right shoulder and popped it back in from like 2 turnbuckles. And then Dominic, we all know that Dominic was going to get involved, distracting the referee. And what happens? Liv Morgan hit the Oblivion on Rhea. She pins Rhea and Rhea kicks out. And then Rhea was about to hit. Dominic grabs a chair and gave it to Rhea, and she was about to cause her match of the Women's World title. And Dominic took it away from her. That she told her that you don't want to do this, you don't want to get disqualified. And Dominic did the right thing by taking the chair away from Rhea. And not only that, Dominic hands the chair, slides the chair in the ring to Liv Morgan. And then Dominic got distracted, the referee again. Liv hit the Oblivion on Rhea to the chair. 1, 2, 3. Liv Morgan retains her Women's World Championship. And I can tell the moment that Rhea looked into Dominic and see that Dominic and Liv set up Rhea to lose, which that plays into the part of the story right there, the next chapter, a part of chapter 2, up until their next match, until Bad Blood in October, which I think that should be saving that in October. But Dominic helped Liv win in the moment that everybody was in shock mode. Dirty Dom Bastard decides to kiss Liv Morgan. As soon as he did that, the crowd went literally crazy when he did that. And Rhea's looking at Dom. He's literally straight up looking at him with straight anger on him. Oh yeah. Dom and Liv, or both of them, is going to die when Rhea finished them. They're both going to die. They're definitely going to die. They're not going to like what's coming for them. But, yeah, man. Overall, this match was good. Definitely a great match. And that's all I got to say. This was definitely a great match. And I'm glad they're keeping this story within a few months until Bad Blood, which that's a great thing to do. And I'm glad that Rhea did not win the match, because if she did, then the storyline will be useful for what it was. Because if Rhea actually won the Women's World title, this whole story between her and Dominic is going to be useless. This whole story was going to be useless, which I'm glad they're saving it. I'm glad they're saving the storyline between all three of them. So, great match overall. Next match is Bron Breakker versus Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental Championship. Yeah, this match didn't really last that long. It only lasted about 5 minutes, but Bron Breakker definitely belligerate and squash Sami Zayn in 5 minutes. I was hoping the match will go on a little bit longer for about 5 more minutes, but it ended up being a 5-minute match. Yeah, nothing much really happened in this match that Bron Breakker, with the massive speed and the ability that he got in the ring, running back and forth until he hits the spear on Sami. 1, 2, 3. Bron Breakker is your new Intercontinental Champion. Winning his first title in his career. The same way I will talk about LA Knight and Logan Paul. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. But overall, this match was definitely good. Decent good, I would say. I wish they could have made the match a bit longer. But, yeah. I knew that Bron Breakker was going to win the Intercontinental title until Sami Zayn got pinned clean. And the interaction with him and with Bron Breakker and Ilya Dragunov, I could probably see that being Bron Breakker's next rivalry. Ilya Dragunov and Bron Breakker, probably in Bash in Berlin, I would say. I don't know about that, but they definitely have been a little bit of rivalry going on between them, so hopefully they make that match happen. But this was a good match, though. And congratulations to Bron Breakker winning his first Intercontinental title. Congratulations. And the next match that we're going to definitely talk about, LA Knight versus Logan Scandalous Bastard Paul for the WWE United States Champion. Now, Logan Paul came out with Machine Gun Kelly, which I was definitely not expecting. He came out, Machine Gun Kelly was there on Logan Paul's corner. And I do want to say this too. Logan Paul, whether you hate or love Logan Paul or not, I honestly don't like him. But the thing I'm always going to respect for is his in-ring work. His in-ring work is definitely top-notch that he had against LA Knight last night, which I thought the whole match itself was great. Especially with the moves with the bumps that Logan Paul take, was crazy. Like, there was one part in the match that LA Knight jumped on the top rope and it kind of looked like a suplex, but it looked like a brain buzzer as they was coming down, and that looks brutal. And I was thinking that Logan Paul was done there, but he kicked out. But Logan Paul's posse's trying to get into play, and once Machine Gun Kelly gave him something, he gave him the brass knucks to Logan. He was using it on LA Knight. I think he used them. He did use them. I think he did use it. It bashed him LA in the head. And Logan was about to go for the buckshot lariat on LA Knight. But LA Knight reverses into the BFT, Blood Force Trauma 1, 2, 3, and we got your new United States champion, LA Knight. Yeah, LA Knight is your new United States champion, and thank God they finally pulled the trigger on him. For like a half year or so, LA Knight has definitely been one of the most popular faces in the company. Definitely been one of the greatest baby faces in the company, getting himself over, interacting with the crowd. He got all the tools in the ring, his microphone skills, and his charisma, and his ability. He got all the tools for that. And I will say it's nice to have LA Knight as your new United States champion. His first title match, his first title in WWE. So congratulations to Mr. LA Knight. I do want to say a little bit about Logan Paul's title reign. I want to say this too. Like, part-timers, I'm honestly was not the biggest fan of. When Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, Goldberg, and Logan Paul, I was not the biggest. When Roman was coming to the shows and at PLE shows, like, he was definitely putting his title on the line. He was still like performing, and there will be sometimes he's not here. So for Logan Paul, it was ridiculous that he has like 2 title defenses, one at WrestleMania and one at the Royal Rumble, and holding the United States title for 200 days. That's ridiculous. And I'm glad WWE pulled the trigger of giving LA Knight the United States Championship here, because we need a full-time talent, because that belt of the U.S. title barely gets seen on television much. And I'm glad they finally gave it to somebody who is a full-time talent. So once again, congratulations to LA Knight on the United States Champion victory. And I hope that he gets a very good title reign. I hope he does. Next match, Nia Jax versus Bayley for the WWE's Women's Championship. I would say the match was good. I want to speak a little bit about Nia. Ever since she came back to WWE, nobody was not wanting her to do something that was like anything, mostly wise of, the stars that she was damaging throughout the times in her WWE run when she came back. We all thinking that why would WWE make a stupid decision by bringing back Nia Jax? Now, I will say, for like the last 5-6 years ago, that Nia Jax, when she was in WWE, she has done nothing, because she was literally an unsafe professional wrestler in an unsafe environment. Injury women, and they had to put women on the show because of the injuries that Nia was an unsafe worker. But yeah, that was crazy. A crazy time that I don't even know how they managed to bring Nia back into better working wise within the ring than she was before that. But in the match that she had against BAYLEY was good as well. They did have like a riot. They did have their match in NXT a while back in 2015, which I don't remember. I don't remember that. But the match was definitely good. And Tiffany Stratton was almost about to cash in her Money in the Bank briefcase, but Bayley stopped it. And then Nia Jax hit 3 power bombs on Bayley. She hits 2 annihilators on Bayley, 1, 2, 3. Nia Jax is your new WWE's Women's Championship. So now, since Nia Jax is the new champion now, Tiffany Stratton still has the briefcase, so that's going to still plays a part in the story. Wherever Tiffany cashing on Nia Jax to become champion, which I'm glad they gave Tiffany to cash in her briefcase, because I feel like that would be too early. So later on down the line, I'm pretty sure she probably will cash in on Nia one day. Yeah, so overall, this definitely was a good match as well. The next match that I've been wanting to see, love to see, Drew McIntyre versus CM Punk and the special guest referee, Seth freaking Rollins. Oh man. For like the last couple of months of these two guys have beef with one another throughout WrestleMania, throughout Money in the Bank, and that Clash at the Castle. CM Punk was definitely screwing not just Drew, but mostly Seth Rollins. And Drew still has CM Punk's bracelet with him, with his name on it, his wife AJ Lee, and their dog Larry on it. That was playing part of the storyline as well. Seth Rollins as a special referee for the match definitely made sense here. Definitely made sense. So during the match, Seth Rollins and CM Punk have like an inner reaction with one another. And she told CM Punk, like, I don't remember what Seth said, but he said, I play by the rules here. I'm the referee just for this match. If y'all don't interact with one another, you do like I told you to do. And this is when the crowd really popped for this right here. CM Punk didn't care. And Punk got Seth on his shoulders. The GTS go to sleep. Hit it on Seth. Drew hits the Claymore on Punk. Drew pins Punk 1, 2, 3. Drew won the match and Punk lose, which I expected to be. And Drew took the bracelet that CM Punk was definitely had for a minute or second. So even when Seth Rollins had it, he had it. But Drew still took the bracelet away from Punk. Yeah, this is definitely going to be another match I could definitely see. Like I said in my other video, in my Money in the Bank review, that Drew wins this first match right here, and that Bad Blood, CM Punk would win the second match with Drew. Probably at Hell in a Cell, whatever stipulation they're going to do. Mostly Hell in a Cell. But this was a great match overall, man. Like I've been saying, without like Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley and Drew McIntyre and CM Punk, they got like one of the best storytellings they got going on right now. Cannot wait to watch Raw this Monday. But this match was definitely good. Definitely great. Oh, man. GUNTHER versus Damian Priest for the World Heavyweight Championship. I was even thinking about this, too. I was thinking this in mind as well. That Damian Priest definitely had like a great title reign so far ever since he won at WrestleMania. And I don't know if he was going to be the one to drop the title on GUNTHER. Because for the last number of months now that Damian has been disrespecting Finn Balor over the last few months. So with everything that was going on with Judgment Day right now, it looks like Damian Priest and Rhea are definitely going to get kicked out of Judgment Day. It does look like they're about to get kicked out. But this was a great match too. Definitely a great match. And Finn Balor came out, in Damian's corner. And Damian was like the guy that wants to finish his matches with no help. He literally mentions this. He wants nobody from Judgment Day to help him out. JD McDonough, Dominic, or Finn Balor. He does not want neither of their help to help. Damian did not want none of them to help win a match. As soon as Damian hits the South of Heaven chokeslam, he pins GUNTHER and Finn all of a sudden turns on Damian. He puts GUNTHER's leg on the rope, and Finn Balor had like this smirk on his face, like looking at Damian, as like he turned his back. He just turned his back while smiling. And then GUNTHER definitely did great in this match as well. Hitting 2 power bombs and put him in a sleeper hole, and he passed out Damian, and GUNTHER is your new world champion. He didn't tap out though, but he passed out. I'm glad that GUNTHER won his World Heavyweight Championship. He won the World Heavyweight Championship, and Damian Priest and Rhea, they definitely going to have some real major heat with Dominic and Finn Balor for what they both had did in their matches. Now, I could probably see this being a mixed tag match, or if it's going to happen with Rhea teaming up with Damian, and Liv teaming up with Liv Morgan, which I would definitely love to see that. I would definitely love to see that match if they do make it happen, because they both, all four of them, got so much stuff that's going on between them. It's like you might as well just make it into an unsafe match, make it added to like a stipulation of that. If they're going to do that, they could tear each other apart like crazy. So Damian Priest and Gunther definitely have a great match, and congratulations to Gunther winning the World Heavyweight Championship. The main event, Cody Rhodes versus Solo SIKOA for the undisputed WWE Championship in a Bloodline Rules. As you would have expected, that Solo was not going to be Cody. Cody was beat Solo in this Bloodline Rules, which I knew that Tonga Loa, and especially Jacob Fatu definitely got into the match and instead of attacking Cody. But Solo, for like the last few months, ever since Roman stepped down as the tribal chief taking over the Bloodline, I'm gonna have to say Solo is definitely doing like one of the best work I've seen him on SmackDown of his career right now, of his career, taking over the Bloodline, pretending like he's the tribal chief, adding in new members of the Bloodline, Tonga Loa, Jacob Fatu. I love what Solo has been doing this far. But the only thing is about Solo is, what is he going to do after SummerSlam is the question. I'm pretty sure he's still going to remain with Bloodline 2.0 on his own group, all that stuff. So that probably may be something that they're doing with Bloodline Civil War happening in November, because people are predicting that Roman's team and Solo's team going to do it at War Games, which that could definitely happen with Jimmy Uso, because I think people were predicting like Jimmy Uso was going to get involved in attack Solo, but it didn't happen. I'm pretty sure that Jimmy Uso is probably going to return at SmackDown next Friday. I don't know about that. But during the match, though, the match was definitely great. Definitely great. And you got the help. I was thinking that Cody would not get no help in the Bloodline Rules. Even though Solo was definitely going to get people involved in this, like Jacob Fatu. And Jacob Fatu getting involved in the match was crazy as well. Hitting the moonsault, putting Cody through the announcer table. And there was one part of the match that Jacob ended up fairing his right or left knee, I believe. He ended up injuring his right knee, and he couldn't even move. So Cody hit the Cody Cutter on Solo, as everybody expected to be predicted. Your original tribal chief, the head of the table, Roman Reigns, is back in business. Yes, Roman Reigns is back at SummerSlam. He returned at SummerSlam. He runs down to the ring, and the first thing he does is Superman punch Solo and hits the spear on him. And after that, Cody Rhodes and Roman had eye to eye with one another. Like, Cody was definitely looking straight at Roman, not even like keeping his eyes off of him. Because y'all know for like the last year or so that Roman and Cody had history with one another, with Cody finishing the story at WrestleMania being Roman Reigns, and that's what happened. And at WrestleMania 39, that Cody did not finish his story last year, and they was definitely dead at each other, like one another at each other. The only reason I think they did that is the amount of respect they got with one another. Because if you really think about it, Roman only have their storyline before WrestleMania, to be honest, wasn't really all that great. And towards like their match at WrestleMania for night 2 came following. Roman definitely enjoys Cody for what he has for I don't know what I'm trying to say here. But what I'm saying is that Cody beats Roman, and for like the last 4 years of Roman holding the Universal title and carrying the company on his back, and Cody is showing off his moment at WrestleMania and everything else. They have so much respect for each other. So much, a lot of things going on in place right now that you just don't know what's going to happen on Friday. And then afterwards, Cody hits the crossroads on Solo. He pins Solo 1, 2, 3. Cody retains the Universal, the undisputed WWE Championship. And Cody is still looking at Roman as Roman was standing on the aisle of the stage. And that's how they close off the show, SummerSlam 2024. Yeah, man. So, SummerSlam was definitely a very great show. A very great show with the performance of Jelly. I forgot what his name was. He was a singer that was performing on the first part of the show. I think Jelly Roll. Jelly Roll definitely was performing, perform, and then he definitely did well in his performance. I love that. The things I definitely enjoy with Liv Morgan and RHEA and CM Punk and Drew McIntyre and the return of Roman Reigns. Bro, all storylines are definitely going to come into place to Raw and SmackDown this week. I cannot wait for everything to see what everything's going to be down for, man. I cannot wait. Cannot wait for it. This was definitely a great PLE show. And they especially going to be dropping PL shows, bangers after bangers after bangers after bangers. I'm loving this. I'm loving this so far, that what WWE is providing us, that there wasn't no miscommunication, no botches this time, no mix-up or nothing. Everything just feels exactly what everybody's going to predict on. Roman Reigns returning, and he probably is going to reclaim his throne on being the original Tribal Chief, which he definitely is your Tribal Chief on SmackDown, and keeping SmackDown so much watchable if he's around. But that is it for my SummerSlam review. Y'all let me know. What was y'all favorite match from SummerSlam that y'all, especially y'all let me know down in the comments what y'all think. Follow me on social medias down below. I'll be back with another video. Peace.
My moment to shine. This is my time of flight. I've been grinding forever just for this very night. I've been pushing for many moments like this. This time it's undervalued and no one ever could.